Hey everyone. So everybody always asks me, what kinds of things am I working on right now? And so I wanted to touch base with you on the four things that are going on in my office this week so far. The very first was yesterday, while at Sunday breakfast. I always go to brunch with friends. I was helping a buyer secure a house, and it took pretty much all day long. By the time it was 9:30, I think by the time everything was all done, helping a buyer to place an offer and got that offer accepted on a house on Alexis. Tomorrow, then, is the inspection. Financing is all coming along. I'm just getting going in my office here this afternoon to be able to get some stuff sent over to the mortgage person. Just one more thing that I need to send over to her. And that'll be off here in just a few minutes after this video. While I was at breakfast, of course, my friends were like, "Oh, you're supposed to let it go." I said, "No, I'm helping somebody right now. Um, it's all good. Sorry about your luck. I'm going to be working through breakfast." And working through breakfast is not like a great big thing. The one person was a little bit, it just drives me nuts that you're working. And I'm like, apparently you're going to have to go sit someplace else because I'm working right now. I'm just here on my phone texting away. It's all good. Don't know why that's upsetting to you. I don't know why helping somebody is upsetting to you. But perhaps you are the one that has the problem with that, and maybe you should go sit someplace else. And he did. So can't help that part. Um, but I digress. So the next thing that I'm working on as well too is I have a buyer client. It's a great time to be buying houses in Windsor because there is tons of inventory to be able to choose from now. And on Thursday, I'm going to be showing him. He sent me over a list of 22 hot properties that they want to go see. And so I'm gonna go through that a little bit later, probably tomorrow. Get ready for Thursday to show them some houses after 5 o'clock in the evening on Thursday. See if I can't get them a house as well too this week or next week. Shouldn't be a problem. They have a pretty open kind of what they're looking for, and they're looking for under 400, and we'll have some things to be able to choose from, so that's good. 400 used to be very difficult. Now suddenly 400 is a little bit easier because we have things to see. And then so that'll be for Thursday. But the other things that are going on in my office this week, Mackenzie's auction is doing an auction for an estate that I appraised out in Amherstburg. Mackenzie's called me today. Gee, Brian, sorry about not sending your checks in the mail. Accounting just sent it. And then they're also asking for some assistance on October 2nd and 3rd when they're going to have the pickup at the auction out in Amherstburg. What is interesting is they took a lot of the smalls. They took them back to their facility in London, and that auction is currently going on right now and doing very well. Items sell for just more money in London than what they do in Windsor. You could probably go to every garage sale, every estate sale, and buy everything here in the city of Windsor, put it in a trailer, send it to Mackenzie's, and still make money because they just get so much more money for an item there. And then the on-site auction is all the heavy stuff, and that's just not doing very well, but there's 14 days before that ends. So working with Mackenzie's auction on all of that. And then I just had an auction that ended with CK Auctions, where I cleaned out an estate on Lillian. It was all put into a sea container. It was sent to CK Auctions, and they just finished up the auction. The pickup was yesterday. The final pickup is today. And then she's going to be sending me the accounting from that auction later on tonight for tomorrow. So I'll be able to then let the family know how well that auction did as well too. She doesn't believe in posting the numbers out online, so I have to wait for her to do her final tallies and all that stuff. That's all good. And that was a good auction as well too. It was a good auction. A lot of times the auctions here in the city of Windsor don't bring anything. You have to be sending things in other places. So I'm working with CK Auctions, Mackenzie's Auctions, and this buyer. Have the other buyer that wants to go see 22 houses. Have another client that has a rental property over on Albert that I've been going by from time to time to see if the tenant is still living there, and I still think they're there. I just haven't gone up and rang the doorbell, and apparently that's kind of what it's. They might have vacated finally, but we're really waiting for the court to show up and say, are you out, type of thing, so that my team can get in there, get it cleaned up, and get it sold as well too. But the last thing was part of this video, and I got a call from a young lady just a few minutes ago that unfortunately her referral from a law firm, because I do a lot of that, that's why I have all these designations. I believe if you're hiring a lawyer, hiring a realtor and paying such a massive sum to a realtor, that having degrees and designations is important, and having experience and all of this stuff is exceptionally important. So I got a phone call from one of my team members out at Hickey Burney Law Firm, and there is a young lady that unfortunately, at 65, her hubby died and had a heart condition. And so she has a whole barn full of stuff. She has containers, storage things out on the acreage that are full of stuff. And she has a small little house that is full of some of his stuff too. And she is primary beneficiary. Beneficiary is split four ways, but she's 25% beneficiary, and she's co-executor, which is not necessarily a good thing to be in the middle of. Unfortunately, the gentleman didn't have a chance to rewrite his will before he passed away. And so at the end of the day, there is a car in the garage, without giving any details, that can be very valuable. It's significantly valuable. It's the right car. I'm going through the auction houses right now for the right amounts of money. It's been a project of his he's owned it since he was 15. He just recently died at 64. And it's a car that everybody and their brother wants. So needless to say, all of the kids in the estate all want the car as well too. The car's in pieces. It's been undergoing some renovation work. And I just did the estate on Lillian, where we had a 1955 Chevy two-door Post that needed to get sold, and it was in a bunch of different pieces as well too, and that all came together as well for really good money for the estate. And so she had called me. She said, Brian, they might be breaking into the barn. And I said, did you call the police? She said, yeah, the OPP came out and filed a report. I said, perfect, it's good. You did everything right there. The OPP will take the stance that even if they break into the barn, they're still a family, so they're still allowed to have things, because they don't know what the conversations were between Dad and them before Dad passed away. But she has everybody's lawyered up now, fortunately, so there goes costs. And I said, yeah, so unfortunately for now, I have a meeting with your lawyer. They'll give me some guidance on whether they want me into the estate to do an appraisal report. Seems like that's the first place to start, as a disinterested third party stepping onto the property to try to get some kind of an idea to the lawyer of exactly what is there. Do that all the time. Part of what my degree is and my designation. So that is another sideline, in essence, to my business units. But what is so much fun with that is that here's a 65-year-old young lady who just lost her husband of many, many years, probably 20 years, 25 years. She has his three daughters that are wanting to get the estate settled up. They do. Dad's no longer here. Let's get the estate settled up. And they want to move a little bit faster than the 64-year-old is moving, or the 65-year-old is moving. And so they've lawyered up and are trying to, put a little bit of pressure on her, because ideally they would like her to move so that they could sell the whole property and do the whole estate settlement all at the same time. Unfortunately, though, she gets to stay living in the house, and so those three kidlets can start working on settling up the estate. Cars, those kinds of things can go, but the other items like the property can't. She can stay living there, and they're having, of course, a little bit of a hard time with that, probably, which is understandable. I mean, when you think about it, Dad passed away. We want to get this all cleared up, but you can't. She's got the right to stay living there, according to all of the paperwork, and she's going to stay living there. So chatted with her for a little bit of time, let her know that she has a new friend, that I'm ready to go, that I can step in and do the appraisal reports. That's not a problem, but that she should talk with her lawyer first. Again, on Wednesday, they have a meeting. And then the lawyer will give me, clairvoyance on exactly what they want my firm to step in and do. So those are the things that are going on. It's all real estate focused at the end of the day. Oh, and I just sent off, if you looked over at my desk last night, I sent off a letter of opinion of value to another lawyer out in Bell River that I work with very closely. Over there, that was a little bit of an interesting story. So a person is trying to sell their house with a realtor that I know, and she wants to downsize into a townhome and wants an exterior unit townhome like what I'm living in, but for whatever reason, she demanded, or whatever, I'm not sure exactly. They went and seen an internal unit townhome, and she made a full cash offer for that internal unit townhome. According to the realtor, it was against her guidance not to write a clean offer, but she did. This person did make a clean offer. That property doesn't close until later, and that the challenge with that is that now she doesn't want that internal unit townhome because her house has not sold yet either. And so I'm working with, in this particular case, the purchaser. I wrote a letter of opinion of value last night for what I felt that the townhouse was worth. There's some complications with the townhouse because I don't think it's legal and conforming. There is a granny or an in-law suite in the basement. And they believe, because they have this in-law suite in the basement that they could rent, that it's worth massive sums of money, which is typical of everybody with any type of living unit in the basement. But the challenge with the appraisal report is one of those limiting conditions in my appraisal report was the concept that because I don't have any access to any rental history of the unit, any cash flows from the unit, any tax forms from the unit, and because there are what appears to be no windows in this interior unit townhome, there's supposedly 3 bedrooms down the basement and a kitchen, and I don't believe that there's any windows in those bedrooms. So then the question becomes legal and conforming. Massive problems with valuations then. Suddenly I believe it's just a regular townhome valuation, and gave them a valuation about $40,000 less than what her offer was on the property. And because she's getting ready to walk away from that offer and she's asking for her deposit back, as an older person in Canada, I just made a mistake. I wasn't thinking, the house hasn't closed yet, haven't done any damage to you. You can just remarket the property. It's all good. Then these folks are battling, saying our house is worth far more. And then I came in and said, yeah, unfortunately, no, it's worth about $40,000 less. And that, of course, puts some strain on all the relationships. It just does. And unfortunately, I'm kind of in the middle of that right now. I don't like to have to do that for relationships, but she hired me to give her what I feel is factual. And that's why the degrees and designations come in. That's why people call me and say, hey, can I pay you for your opinion? And so I got that done last night, sent off to the lawyer. Lawyer confirmed that they've got it. All of that stuff's done now today. I just need to send the billing for that. And it's just a small fee for doing a letter of opinion of value and a little bit of research. It probably should be a little bit more money than what I'm actually going to send her. But that's okay too, because that's all just kind of free money. That's brain money. Then the last thing to share with you as well too is last night was a difficult night from a sleep perspective. Once I found out that the former president of the United States had another assassination attempt yesterday, I don't get it. I have a very, very hard time with how um, people are at each other's throats. If I don't agree with you, then I'll just kill you. I don't understand. It doesn't compute. It just does not compute. After the shots were fired, the ranking Democrat in the House said that, yeah, we must take out MAGA wherever we possibly can. And I'm like, that's threatening a former president. How is that allowed in our society, or in that society, because it's not our society, but how is that allowed? And that's what's creating all of these shots being fired at the former president. I just find it sad. I just don't get how it is that, hey, you disagree with me, so I'll kill you. I'm just having a very, very hard time with that. So I'm working through it by just going to work. So that's how I kind of buckle down and just do my work. I've got some shipping I've got to get done today as well too, and some more office work. I got to get some of the paperwork done from the deal from yesterday. But wanted to share with you a little bit about what a successful realtor does that has relationships with lawyers here in town, and some of the different things that come across my desk, and how fun it is in my career path to be able to be helping people in all kinds of different walks of life, to be able to move through the things that are going on with them. I'm definitely doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing in my calling with God. So thanks for letting me share. If you have any questions about real estate and you're looking for a professional realtor with degrees and designations and you think that that is important as well too, be more than happy to share with you and spend some time with you if you're thinking about buying a house in the city of Windsor, and you've watched this video and I can help you in some way. I do have a little bit of time for a buyer now as well too, since I just got the one done. I'd be more than happy to be able to help you and consult with you as well too. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. This is Brian signing out. Bye-bye.